You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton, here hanging with you guys. Good morning. Hey, really excited about today's podcast episode. I have really been looking forward to this one. We're going to be joined today with the Kress team, talking about their battery products, their robotics, their battery platform and technology. A lot of you guys want to learn more, have been hearing these guys and seeing these guys all over the place, and for good reason. Listen to me really quick before you guys switch to the podcast episode or change the channel and you're like, battery, we've heard the conversation about battery. I really just implore you, hang tight with me for 20-25 minutes. And, they always say your mind works like a parachute. It only works when it's open. Like, hear these guys out for a quick second because it's completely different than a lot of the other battery tech that's on the market. And I really do believe that. And I really do mean that. So we're going to get the debrief today. We've got a buddy of mine now that I feel like we're buds. We were cutting up and chumming up for a whole freaking day. And it's good when you can start joking and razzing each other a little bit. So for me personally, I had a great time. We flew on down to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got to hang out with the whole Kress team down there. One of their product managers, and now he's the National Robotics Field Manager. He is a bigwig. He's some of the brass. He's hanging out with us today, and I'm just having some fun here. But we got Lee Withers joining us from Mobile, somewhere down in, are you in Nebraska right now, brother? Where are you at?
I am. Well, first off, thanks for having me. Yes. We had a heck of a time this week. It was a blast. I thoroughly enjoy any time have a captive audience that is willing to listen to me talk. And you didn't pick your phone up much at all except to take pictures and maybe to video some comedy. I don't know. So we had a great time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes, I flew into Omaha just a few hours ago, and I may have to send you my location via text or ping me. And you may get a call from me tonight to say, please give me some directions to get to wherever I'm supposed to be.
There you go.
I'm in God's country. It's beautiful. There's a lot of corn stalks and a lot of pivot irrigation out here.
Hey, well, when there's more horses and or cows or cattle, right? Isn't that the saying? Than there are people. Your country.
A lot of cattle. Yeah, a lot of cattle out here.
Hey, I've got friends in Illinois area, Iowa, and it's cornfield, beanfield, cornfield house territory. And you can drive for hours and not see a single soul or a gas station. So make sure you fill up. That's always my rule of thumb when you start going west. Fill up because you never know when you're in no man's land for another hour or two, So
that's literally no man's land. You're right.
That's awesome. So we've got a lot to talk about. Not a long time to do it. I really try to be respectful and cognizant of our guests that come on, and especially folks in the corporate setting. You guys are just constantly working, fielding calls, traveling. We get it, and I know you're a family person, so I want to just take 20-30 minutes out of your schedule. Nothing super crazy, and really. Two things here. I want to talk about the robotics. I want to talk about the battery platform. But before we do that, I want to maybe just get that 50,000 foot view about Kress. This isn't going to be a hard pitch or anything like that, guys. We were actually down there in Charlotte. They flew about half dozen guys down there to just create some content. But really, the whole theme was, I feel personally, Lee, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it was just education. It wasn't any hard pitch. It wasn't trying to position themselves as, the market leader or something this. And they're just relying on the technology and the platform to speak for itself. And they really just want to get the word out. I feel like about one of the best kept secrets in new companies coming to the market, new companies bringing product to the table. So just if we can, Lee, just to zoom out, maybe that 50,000 foot overview for anybody who maybe has never seen Kress, heard Kress, maybe they didn't see you guys make a big hoopla, at the last two Equip Expos. Because, there's the legacy brands out there, but you guys are at least new to North America. So can you give me that 2-minute, we kind of call it that elevator pitch or that highlight reel, but could you kind of fill this in a little bit?
I can for sure. So I'll give you a 50,000 foot view of me real quick leading into Kress. So, and the only reason I do that is I've been fortunate to work for some amazing brands in this industry. I've been in this industry since mid-90s.
Okay.
And just love this. It's the greatest industry in the world. And if you're listening to this podcast, you probably already realize that. And you're probably listening to better yourself, to better your company, and for betterment of your clients. And I just appreciate that, first off. So thanks for the leeway here to allow us this platform. But you're exactly right. The mission behind the trip for y'all to Charlotte was education. And I believe that if you are a premium brand in the industry, you don't have to make a hard push. You don't have to make a hard sell. The theory behind the product itself, the offering, and quite frankly, the pitch comes naturally, and you get to you basically experience the pitch by putting the product in your hands. And that's what was so fun from my aspect of being a sales guy, now moving over to the product team. I got to see y'all because there's a few of y'all that had never run any of our products before.
Sure. Yep.
And to see the apprehension, and just like you said earlier, like, guys, give us a little bit of time to talk about this, because battery is not what it was, at least at Kress. Right? We're going to make a commercial tool that is equivalent to gas, to petrol. There's zero compromise with us. And we can say that with non-emotion and just fact-based. We're the power of gas. We can replace the power of gas. We have the runtime of gas. We have the performance of gas. And we can recharge in 8 minutes. Right? So you all look in the room and you're like, oh, yeah, whatever. We've heard this before. I think you even made the statement like, all right, I'm gonna be that guy real quick. And I believe it was you or someone else said, hey, just time out. We've all heard this before.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get outside. And you got outside, you were like, that blower is freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no way that I didn't even believe what y'all were saying. That thing's awesome. That pruning saw was amazing. That robot was everything that you put in your hands was the same thing. So there's not a hard pitch. You hit the nail on the head. Exactly. The point behind it was to allow y'all to come down unfiltered. We didn't give you a sales pitch. We didn't give you a script to use per tool. We were pretty brave in trusting that our products were going to have a good review from y'all and to be promoted properly. But we didn't hand you a script. We didn't hand you a catalog, much less of anything else. We just wanted you to put these things in your hands. And I didn't hear one negative piece from any of y'all as it relates to putting that stuff in your hands. So 10,000 foot view to last weekend, 100%. Kress is brand new in North America. I had the fortune of being one of the first 3 people hired to help launch this brand here. We're based out of Charlotte, but the company was founded in Germany in 1929. It is a legacy company in Europe. So just because it's new here doesn't mean that we haven't been making tools a long time.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So, that's news to me. I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it gives you the confidence by saying, okay, so your tooling's not new. No, it's not. And in Europe, if you were to go look at Kress in Europe, and quite frankly, we need people to drive awareness to this here in the States, they make an amazing line of hand tools, batteries, drills, circular saws, all of that stuff that work off of our 40-volt platform or our twin 20-volt platform for the residential series. It's the same exact 20-volt battery that goes on all those tools that would go on our residential products for outdoor power. So common battery platform along those lines as well. So the tooling's been there. The quality's been there. I mean, we think about premium brands in this industry that have German heritage, and that's the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, yeah, German engineering, wonderful. Mm-hmm. You think about in the automotive space, very similar. So usually that helps us to have that pitch to say, hey, guys, we were founded in 1929 in Germany. Oh, and all of a sudden it eases that. Well, you're really not new. No, we're just new here.
Yeah.
So,
and it's one of those things, there's a lot of loyalty to a lot of the domestic brands, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. Those companies have been around. There's a lot of name recognition, a lot of brand loyalty. That's what my daddy used, kind of stuff. Whether gas or maybe some other of the power tools that have, more recently switched to battery, the last decade or so. Let me ask you this, like, speaking of, you guys have been around for a lot longer than people understand. And you really, though, and here's the whole crux of the conversation. created something different, something new. And, there was a time about 4 years ago, some buddies of mine with a couple of different brands, we had a running joke that anytime they used the word disruptive innovation or game changer, you had to take a shot. And, and so folks, in 2020 and 21, there might have been some people driving around inebriated if you were on certain companies' profiles, Instagrams. Okay, let's just say that. And I get it, and we're having fun. I'm poking fun, but here's the truth of the matter. That has been so overplayed, Lee. Disruptive innovation, game changer, breakthrough technology, epic. And I'm like, it's not. For most of the companies that I get to see out there that are, in this space, it's marginal improvement at best. And I'm sure a lot of you guys listening in would agree. They've taken the gas equivalent, strapped the battery on there, and I'm just going to call a spade on our content. And I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm a practical person. My wife and I aren't made of money. Our company has a real operating budget. A lot of these companies and brands are bringing out this product, and the technology just does not keep up with the claim. I guess that's just the most PC way I can put it. So when I heard Kress say, we're different, we're doing something, I'm like, man, I've heard this before. If it wasn't for me going to Equip Expo and actually seeing the product and talking to the experts, I would probably still be a skeptic. And so I want to share, I'd have Lee share if you don't mind, what is different with Kress? Here's the big elephant in the room. Why is your battery technology different? How can you guys be so bold and so confident? I love what you said there. You're just, hey, we're not trying to sell or convince. We're confident with what we're bringing to the market. What is that? Quantify that for me. Help me out, because I think a lot of people, if they're going to be looking over the fence and looking at what you guys have to offer, those are some of those first initial, pointed hardball questions that they're going to be asking, frankly, just like myself.
Yeah, so our ownership group challenges themselves first with bringing a solution to the market, and so let's segment this into two segments, right? The first one being our handheld commercial tools, and that's kind of how we trained y'all. And I was talking to Meg, our PR director. We said we really needed to have a whole day of robotics. We just barely teased y'all with robotics, but
sure.
Let's talk about handheld first. So there's two things that have been, I'll break it into four things. There's four things that why battery hasn't been adapted over the years. One, and I made mention to it, and you said all these little buzzwords, right? There's never been a brand that I can remember in my 20-some, almost 30 years that have said that we will deliver no compromise. There's always a compromise with battery. Always. Mm-hmm. If the battery, if they promoted that it was lighter than gas, it had nowhere near the power, because you couldn't have enough battery capacity to put power and torque to the operating end of the unit. So if it was light, it was under power. If it had the power, it was too heavy. And then if it was then all of those, the battery took 45, 50 minutes, an hour to charge. And then it took another 20 minutes to cool it down before you could even start to charge it, right? So old technology is lithium ion, and there's still nothing wrong with lithium ion. But lithium ion, the faster you discharge energy from it, and the faster you try to put energy back into that power cell, the more heat you build.
Sure.
So you have to cool it first and get it down to an ambient temperature. Then you can put energy back in. And then the more energy you put in, the slower the charge becomes toward the end. And so you have a lot of manufacturers saying, oh, we got 25 minutes of runtime and 30 minutes of charge. Asterisk, you got to cool it for 25. So now you're at 55 minutes of charging. So now you need 3 or 4 batteries just to get through, right? You're always got one on the charger, and then you really need another one that's already charged. So you need 2 chargers because it's double the time to charge it of a runtime.
Right.
So our next piece is we offer at a standard charge time of 12 minutes or a rapid charge of 8 minutes. And our shortest, most high demand piece is the blower, and it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 22 minutes of runtime at full output.
Okay.
Right. Level 4 wide open. So even at worst performance of a battery, let's call it 20 minutes, it only takes 8 to recharge it. You will never need more than 2 batteries per operator. So you've been to Equip and you've walked through many of the brands that have these beautiful trailers. And they say, oh, that's a show trailer. It's not a show trailer, right? When you walk in, that's what they're trying to sell you to get into their battery platform.
Yeah.
And so I think you mentioned it. And there's brands out there that say, yes, this is great. You've got this, all these chargers built into it, and an inverter and a battery bank and solar, and it looks like a Tesla wall in there. And then you say, man, that's amazing. What's that? It's $80,000 for the trailer.
Right.
What? Huh? Where's that scale? And so for us, the next piece is a mobile charging solution. So we provide basically just a small 2x4 pallet skid that has our CyberTank on it. And that will get you through a day of a battery system that can also rapidly recharge your batteries. So you only have to have 2 per operator. So most other crews with other manufacturers are going to require about 30 to 40 batteries to get a 2 to 3 man crew through the day. If it's a 2-man crew, in theory, you only need 4 batteries. If it's a 3-man crew, in theory, you basically need 6 batteries. The only asterisk is if that you're going to have 2 blowers on that crew and 2 trimmers, and then you may need to have a couple of extra 11 amp hour batteries because you've got 2 men blowing instead of one trimming and 1 blowing. You'll have to double up some of that, right? But in theory, 2 batteries per operator per tool that they're using at the time versus 40 batteries for other manufacturers. So we have the power of gas, we have the runtime of gas, we have the mobile charging solution, and then we have the quick recharge ability where you don't have to have the capacity. And that the nice thing about that is, as an owner operator, I don't have 40 batteries to count when that crew comes back in at the end of each day.
Right.
I don't have to have 40 batteries to plug into 40 chargers so they'll be ready the next day. Or I don't have to pay a man an extra 2 hours overtime to switch out batteries. Or as an owner operator, send all my people home and I stay and switch out batteries to make them fully charged for the next day. So there's just all this solution that we provide that there's, again, I started off with zero compromise on our battery platform. And there's not another manufacturer that can even come close to what we do.
Attention all entrepreneurs. Achieve more in 24 with Entrepreneur Academy's Link membership. For a limited time only through April 30th, when you join Link, you'll receive an exclusive offer. Free registration for you and your team to the Equip Exposition in Louisville, Kentucky. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Connect, learn, and grow your business while staying up to date on industry trends and innovations. Elevate your entrepreneurial journey today by joining Link. Seize this incredible offer and propel your business to new heights. Unlock your free registration to Equip for yourself and your team when you purchase your Link membership before April 30th. You got it. There's a link for that in the show description.
The performance, I think the buzzword or the line that you guys used was gas-like performance. And that's a fact. I mean, first off, product, A, green check, looks good. The ability to rapid charge, A, green check. The CyberTank, bringing the CyberTank with you. A lot of you guys have seen this big gray thing, charging platform and station like you talked about, putting it on a small skid or bolting it to the floor of the trailer. That's another solution. That's an A, green check. And yeah, I was the one to, vocally criticize this. So some of the other brands, they have a trailer and they have, 24, 48, I think one trailer had 90 some batteries in there with single chargers. And I'm like, facepalm. I'm like, this is not even practical. I've recently, Inside Baseball, graduated our CRM and software for our budgeting and overhead and estimating. And I'm down to the penny, now. And I have a brand new trailer, what we're outfitting it with, just checking out all we haven't picked hand tools, so maybe I'll update it with some Kress product. But every single cost that I have associated with that, I know down to the penny. And again, just to go full circle, at Equip, some of those folks were proposing these trailer rigs and setups that were 80 to 100 grand. And I'm like, folks, you're, not to be that guy, but you're not going to recoup that cost with a $40, $50 weekly cut. And again, I know there's some folks, well, niche specific applications. And I'm like, well, so we're going for 1% of 1% here. I'm like, if we really want to drive innovation, and get market share and really talk about, giving our folks the best tools in the industry, the best experience, ditching gas, getting rid of fuel spills and gas station fill ups. And, I'm not opposed to any of that. That to me is all about production. That's all about safety. That's all about comfort, with my guys, with not having to have crazy vibration and, just the things that come with using gas equipment all day. I'm super cognizant of all of that stuff. I think the additional crux of the conversation, this is something that I just wanted to point a question. It's just a fastball down the middle. It's the elephant in the room. It's the price of adoption of a whole new platform. And I know when we brought, you guys brought about 5 or 6, 7 of us in, I was asking hardball questions because I've heard the same song and dance from a lot of brands, and they just have like their hands in their pocket, like we don't know. And so you guys do have a solution. You guys do have opportunity. Is it for everybody? It could be. I'm not here to make that pitch or that case, but I think Kress is. And so if you wanted to just take a quick second, Lee, in any way, shape, or form you want to answer the question, but my question is the price, the barrier to entry or adoption, the cost, there's a lot there that I think some folks are open-minded now. They want to hear more. They want to see more. A lot of folks are trying that. I know you guys had some huge testimonies with some larger brands and outfits that are giving it a fair shake. So I know that's a super loaded question. We could talk for an hour on that alone, but feel free to add any of those missing puzzle pieces if you want. If somebody's giving it a fair shake, talking about price and adoption, what can they expect?
Yeah. So the good thing is I think we probably repeated it enough in Charlotte to y'all that you put it on a tee, and it was more like a change up that I saw from way back in the delivery. So it's there.
Yep.
So I appreciate that. So I would tell you the great thing, you let in with your budget. The hardest thing that we have to overcome is the average landscaper. And I'm not saying that people are just average, but the average landscaper in the industry has no idea what they are currently spending per crew, per operator, per tool.
Right.
In fuel and maintenance. And it's eye-opening and sometimes, quite frankly, embarrassing to landscapers when we have to be the one to educate them. So we have to be very cautious with that, because it really starts to, you don't want to insult people when you say, well, how much are you spending on gas per crew? Well, we fill up every day and we fill the trucks up, this and that. It's not what I asked. I get that. But the truck should be a different budgetary item and cost than it should be anything. You should be able to break these things down to know, quite frankly, which mowers are efficient, which ones are inefficient, which trimmers aren't working right, which crew. Which crew is in leaf season, do they never take their finger off the trigger and they run through 5 extra gallons of gas per day? That's cost effective. It's killing you.
Right.
You got to know which crews are doing what. So it's really eye-opening when we have the conversation. So what we ask is we ask people to run a control group with the old petrol products or gas products, and we ask them to run a control group, or use our products against the control group. And we give a 10-day free trial. But we need them to spend a little bit of time every day and say, all right, I filled up 5 trimmers, or I filled up my trimmer 5 times a day. Okay, great. The capacity on that trimmer is this. I ran 1.8 gallons of gas through that trimmer. I ran 3.2 gallons of mixed gas through that blower. And then my push mower, I filled up twice, and that was a half a gallon. Mm-hmm. Right. So just making up numbers, and got some of my edger and whatever else I ran. We need those figures, because what we are finding out in our data, and it gets purer and purer every day. The average from Maine to Florida, North Carolina to California, the average in the 48 states is that you can buy a complete brand new set of Kress tools, CyberTank, and batteries, and it still be cheaper, and you can pay for it in the money you're already spending in your 2-stroke gas budget. You will be more efficient to your paycheck at the end of the day with brand new equipment out of the fuel budget you currently are using, period. The average operator is saving around $2,000 a year per crew. Those are facts. We have a guy in the Northeast, the farthest one, that probably only cuts 120 days a year. Right, so that's low, all the way up in Maine, and he is making about $50 extra, or saving about $57 a month times 12 months. Right, he's still making money, but it's almost a break even for him. He's putting money in his pocket.
Okay.
Right, it is still cheaper for him. I've got a guy in Florida, just south of Orlando, on the south side of Orlando, that is saving something to the tune of $12,000 a year. He's cutting 350 some days a year, right? They are wide open. Those crews are just nonstop. I mean, they are 12 months out of the year. He's got a couple of downtime in between seatings and different airification and whatever else that they're actually not running those weeks, right? But he's wide open on a far extreme. And he's $13,000 a year per crew. It was a no-brainer for him. He's full conversion.
Sure.
So now, granted, is he going to charge his batteries more? He is. Does the battery still have a 3,000 charge or 6-year warranty? It does. Right. So that's still there, but he's going to run into, more probably along the lines of the 3,000 charge cycles on the warranty side. The guy in Maine is going to go up around. He's going to get to 6 years on a battery warranty before he has to worry about anything. So a little variances, but from day one, the guy in Florida is instantly, when he switched, he's saving money. And then he took his gas equipment. He kept one set of gas equipment around just as a backup, because quite frankly, he was just embarrassed that he had so much of it sitting around. And then he sold the rest of it. Just sold it, was done with it. And he's all in. He's just waiting for us to deliver some future robotics to save some labor down the road and take the butt out of the seat on the zero turn. So those things are coming too. So
that's
a lot
awesome.
of great stuff. But the money, to your point, yes, people look at it and say, "Holy cow, $10,000 or $14,000, whatever it is, for a CyberTank." You're right, 100%. If you want to go stroke a check for it, if you do, Kress offers a 5% discount off in cash. You want to write us a check? Bring it on, not a problem. You just need to make sure that you're dollarizing internally and paying for it out of your budget. The money's already there. You're already spending it. We will show it to you every single time. So money's there being spent. We are not telling you that you are going to spend any more money with Kress, especially if you finance. We do low financing, 1.9, 2.9, or 3.9 up to 60 months. So you're already spending the money. Why not?
Sure.
Get brand new equipment and save it.
Yeah, and I saw a couple different feedback and comment, varieties from folks on Instagram, YouTube, and I welcome that stuff, guys. Like, if you're a skeptic or a critic, leave the comments. That's how we all get better. That's how we get feedback. That's how I improve. That they improve. That's capitalism. That's free enterprise. That's how the consumer wins. Typically, get better product out there and at a better price point. Like, this is just the conversation that we want to have, is to expose you guys to what's going on out there. I saw one guy leave that comment. He said, "Well, you're basically just prepaying for your fuel." And I said, that's like not a bad assessment. I mean, like, if you're spending a couple $1,000s a year, or tens or twenties of thousands of dollars a year, and you can buy, power, wattage, whatever it is, at national average is like 13 or 15 cents, and you can charge some of this stuff at night. We were running some simple math.
Yeah. So
go ahead,
Brian. So here's an interesting piece.
Yeah.
That's not a lie. But
right.
What if I can guarantee you that I can lock you in to a per gallon price? Can anybody do that?
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that's basically what you're doing. Like, you take our 11 amp hour battery, 3,000 charge cycles. Let's say that's 3,000 tanks of gas. That's wonderful. Is there a gas company today that can guarantee you and lock you in that you'll be able to pay $3.29 a gallon for 3,000 tanks? No, we know gas is going to go up, right? It is not going down. It fluctuates, but on average, year over year, it continues to average creep up, right? And so if you're just a decent business person and you say, yeah, you're prepaying for fuel, actually you're locking in at a fuel price. It's like buying futures on the stock market. You're just buying ahead and saying, I'm going to leverage, and I like the price right now, and I like my operating budget. If I could control that variable and not have to worry about politicians or somebody else doing something or not drilling or this or that or who knows what happened,
right?
And all of a sudden the fuel goes to $4 next month. Do you have a rider built into your contract to account for that? Are you okay to put a fuel surcharge to somebody? Or are they going to allow you to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have to rebid the contract? With Kress, you'd be locked in.
Sure.
Conversation shouldn't even come up.
No, that's a great approach. I mean, there's selling points, and there's a convincing argument for a lot of the folks that are looking at this stuff, and I'm really just impressed with how many folks just have an open mind about whether it's Kress and the battery platform or other companies or products. Like, you know, it's becoming a very smart, we talked about this, a very smart and educated consumer out there. So you guys have more than likely, you know, been able to open up your computer, build a small Excel spreadsheet, look at the numbers, look at the savings. I know they've got tools and resources on the Kress website. You guys can always look at, I think it's just Kress.com. It's really simple. But you guys can start pricing out a rig and a setup and, you know, doing your own research and or talk with their team, and they can help you guys with outfitting a trailer. And, you know, I love that 10-day challenge thing. That was actually really cool. I didn't even know that existed. So there's all these different opportunities and resources available to you guys to give it a fair shake. I like that, to give it a fair
Brian,
shake.
You hit. I know we're getting up to time, but you hit on a perfect thing. Is if they have any doubts around Kress, I don't know another brand that will say, come to the store, sign a waiver that you're going to bring it back to us, take it, go run it for 10 days. Right? And we want to have a little bit of consultation with you because we want to customize a rig. I think you asked the question that I'm sure that Johnny runs his crew is a different makeup than your crew.
Right. Yeah.
So
sure.
We don't need to have a default, you know. So you ask them, how many blowers do you currently run in your crew? 2? Great. Let's put two blowers on this demo. What about an edger? We run 1 edger, 2 trimmers, and a chainsaw. Great. Not a problem at all. Let's take that. You go run it. We want you to prove to yourself. We don't need to prove. We've already proved it to ourselves. We know the stuff's amazing. Right? But what we want you to do is go sign up for a 10-day trial. No harm, no foul. I think I told you in the meeting, the only harm is, listen, we close like 85, 90% of these trials.
That's awesome. Wow.
I mean, so just be prepared to have a tough conversation with whoever writes the check or whoever signs the finance contract.
There you go.
Because you will say, oh, man, this stuff's awesome, and it's going to save me money. Where do I sign here? Press hard.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. One thing I'll say too, guys, just an additional resource. We dropped a YouTube video on the Brian's Law Maintenance YouTube channel. You can check that out if you actually want to see the proof in the pudding, the equipment at work. We just a little teaser for you, but we had, I think, 5 stations there. There's a new pole saw, hedge trimmers, chainsaw, trimmer, blower, edger. What else, Lee? Hedge trimmer, if I didn't say that. A little top handle chainsaw. You have like 40 different, whatever it was, 40 or 50 different products now that are coming out with the product line. Like, there's a lot going on, which is why the booth was like overran the last 18 months. I mean, that's a fact. So that's awesome for you guys.
That's a good place. We probably need to do an episode 2 for robotics.
Well, I was just going to say, we were going to wind it down, and I'm like, well, we didn't even get to the part where you're the grand poobah over here. You know, I'm trying to think about how do I transition this to robotics, because that was the second half of our whole day at the Kress event. And we learned a lot. I learned more about robotics than I ever probably cared to know in that 2 hours. And I'm like, this is actually, and it was fun. It was very cool, very educational. And it's like, it's a whole nother world out there that you don't even know exists when you're just going lawn to lawn, $50 here, $50 there, trying to sling mulch and do some landscaping.
That's right. So
we definitely need to do an encore or a part 2. We got to figure something out here, because that's your bread and butter. That's your baby for sure. But give me the 2 minutes. We got to do some justice here. But give me 2 minutes about the Kress Robotics, because I know you guys. There's game changer, there's disruptive innovation, and then there's, people that are leading the charge. And not only have you guys, mastered that, I feel, internationally in the UK market, which is where a lot of this stuff originates from, we came to learn, you guys are just at the tip of the spear for what's going on in the States. So that's pretty exciting. You guys got to be proud of that.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, it is. If we're going to again, bring something to market, it's going to be premium.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are building our network. The only thing that is going to cause us any pause is if someone's interested in it, we may not have full coverage where they are, but it's coming. I mean, we need 2,400 or so antennas, and we are building more, we're installing more antennas every day to build our own network.
Sure.
That being said, there's zero infrastructure to put into your house. I mean, all you need is an outside plug so the mower can charge. Other than that, your dealer's going to come out and install it for you as a landscape contractor, partner with a local dealer, get trained, and put them into your yard and replace the labor issues you're having. There are business models that companies are running hundreds of autonomous robots, our mission mowers, out there, and it's just amazing. We will work with key partners if we don't have coverage with landscapers to use y'all to help us build the network as well. So we absolutely love loyal partners, and we want to make sure that we build our business with people that enjoy our products and understand them.
I love it.
100% amazing products. The biggest thing is if you're having a labor issue, please explore robotic mowing and autonomous mowing. And there are more options to come down the road. But man, stripeability, as a teaser, a couple months down the road, probably we've got automatic checkerboard and automatic diamond cut. And then maybe in a little while, you'll be able to put your favorite sports team's logo in your front yard.
I heard you say that. I heard you say that. It's like the stuff that gets you. You're like, wait a minute, you can put a logo for a sports team or maybe your company logo or something in there one day. Like I'm sure the possibilities are endless.
So our warehouse in Charlotte, we put Kress in the yard. We can actually cut Kress into the yard.
That's awesome.
At Halloween, we had a jack-o'-lantern in the yard. At Christmas, we had a tree.
God,
so all kind of stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking like, 4th of July, USA or flags and stars or God forbid every 4 years with your favorite politician. It's just, I mean, pick your guy. Everybody does it. It's awesome. And you know what? Hey, I'm all about, hey, if that's one way to market the mower, then man, whatever works, right? Whatever makes the sale. I love it.
It's the greatest country in the world.
Why not? Hey, it's a catch-all, man. Go for it. I will say the video that we shot, the last third is Lee. If you guys want to put a face to the name, I always like seeing who people actually are. He's the gentleman in the white shirt, but that was the whole last third of that vlog. So I encourage you guys to check that out if you want to see. I think somebody called them frisbee mowers, but this thing is pretty robust. It's actually pretty cool. I'm a little bit of a critic on the robot mowers. I'm thinking to myself, man, I've got 10, 15 years of job security, but I will tell you, the advancements are there. The stuff that Kress is putting together, I'll speak about them. It's actually really cool. And that's why my mouth was just like jaw dropped open, for 2 hours that afternoon as we're learning about the infrastructure, the network, the product. I honestly thought, these guys came on the market 3 years ago, and I'm like, cool, some VC money, let's rock and roll. I have come to find out that these guys are a juggernaut and they have a lot of great things going on. And so this isn't going to be a flash in the pan for anybody that's in the, bushes just watching and waiting. I'm telling you, you got a front row seat to, I think, something truly special. So, Lee, that's all I got for right now. I really feel like we could talk more and more. I think we're going to try to link up some more this summer with the Kress folks. I told him, I said, give me that trailer for 10 days. I'll do a damn, 10-day challenge. I'll put the money where the mouth is. Let's see how it actually performs in the field. And
you sparked some interest. I think we're working on it. So I'm excited for that to happen. And let's grab some time in the next couple of weeks or whatever, and let's do a 2.0 here on robotics.
Hey, man, you said it. I'm down. I told the folks there, I said, hardball, everybody's talking. Let's walk. We went outside, did those demos. I was impressed. It has some great guys. I really encourage you to check out all the content that comes down. But once we, if we get access to that trailer, I think that's going to be the proof in the pudding for me. And basically, it was kind of funny because I said, give me that trailer. And everybody there said, bet. And I've said that same statement to a lot of the other brands. I'm just telling you guys, I'm tipping my hand. I'm just saying, I have said that to a lot of other brands, and they have never said bet. They're like, hey, and then the phone goes dead. And it's always, hey, well, we'll catch up in 3 months or 6 months, and they never follow through. So I think you guys have the product. I think you guys have the technology to back it up. I think you guys know that. I'm excited to become even more of a believer. So we'll leave it at that for now. We'll see where it goes in the next couple months. But Lee, that's what I got for today's show. Can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule and evening. We try to sign off with the goal of where can people find y'all? Can you plug any of the socials or the website if you got access to it? And that's where we'll probably land the plane for today, my friend.
Yeah, so most of our socials are Kress North America or Kress NA. Our website is Kress.com. There's a dealer locator on there. Find a dealer near you. If not, there's an inquiry form. Please do it there. And I'm not scared. Mine is Lee, Lee.Withers, Withers at Kress.com. Reach out to me. Say hello. Find me on social. It's at D. Lee Withers, and let's get together and let's make some business happen.
There you go, man. Awesome. All right, man. Well, great job. Thanks again for taking time out of the show. Great job at the event. I mean, just genuinely speaking, class act team, great venue, great people. Nobody oversold it or anything like that. I always appreciate that. It was a very down to earth, humble, kind of a family, vibe, if you will. And you could feel that with the whole team that was there. And it's very different than the pony show that I'm pretty, used to. And some of the other guys that get invited on these things, I'm like, oh, another company event. But I said yes to this invitation because it was actually something different, something unique. And you guys delivered, and it was a home run. So just the people, the venue, and of course the product for sure. So that's what I got. Appreciate you guys listening in. Again, I invite you guys to check out more. Run the numbers. A lot of you guys are upgrading equipment this time of year. Now is a perfect time to do that, of course. Check them out at Kress.com, and that's what we got for you guys today. So over and out, folks. You guys have a great rest of the afternoon and evening. We look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next one.
Before you turn off the podcast, there are two things that we believe you will be highly interested in. First, if you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you'll want to subscribe to our free email newsletter. It shows up in your inbox 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. The second thing is we have just launched Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Now you can be a part of an exclusive community that links you to those who can help you grow in your lawn care business. Joining Lawntrepreneur Link will give you the tools that you need to stay accountable, get real-time expert advice, and find belonging in a community of folks who are passionate about the lawn care industry just like you. Visit LawnTrepreneurAcademy.com to learn how Link membership gives you unique access to monthly hangouts, bidding hour calls, coaching calls, expert lessons, and more. Stay ahead of the curve and level up your business with a membership to the Lawntrepreneur Academy Link. Find an easy-to-use link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.